Hey everyone, welcome back. During the sixth generation of consoles, survival horror games were all over the place. Some really good, some a complete train wreck. But in between the cracks, there were those spooky little gems that, while pretty good, just didn't withstand the test of video game time. One of those series is Midway's The Suffering. So for the second half of this special, I'll be talking about it and its sequel to see if they're still worthy of playing. Starting with the original Suffering.
How many times have I done this? And I still hate it.
I swear Abbott's full enough already.
At least when you escort an inmate to death row, you know he's scheduled to get what he deserves.
In The Suffering, you play as Torque. No, not that horrible movie. There we go. A man convicted of murdering his wife and kids who was sent to Abbott State Penitentiary on Carnate Island off the coast of Maryland to be put on death row. Even though Torque confesses that he blacked out and can't remember what happened. Shortly after arriving, an earthquake hits the island, causing strange demonic creatures to be unleashed, murdering all in their path. As Torque escapes his cell, he slowly discovers that the island is home to a dark evil, one that he must escape from, lest he succumb to his own personal demon.
Everything's under control!
Story-wise, The Suffering ranks up there with the greats of horror games. It kinda reminds me on House on Haunted Hill. The remake, that is. But that might be more of a presentation later. The character of Torque is very intriguing, all due to the choices you make. Is he guilty or innocent? Is any of this happening, or is it all in your head? Which makes me appreciate the fact that Torque is a silent protagonist. With gameplay, the best way to describe The Suffering is Max Payne goes to hell, or, in other words, a third-person shooter. What's great though is that not only do you have the ability to play in first person, but you can swap between the camera modes on the fly, something you don't see very often. Which is nice since controlling Torque is pretty simple. You run, jump, shoot, and interact, just like a certain inner monologuing NYPD cop. As you progress through the prison island, you'll come across its ghastly residents who want nothing more than to welcome you to their home by ripping you apart. As you start, your only form of weaponry is a shiv, but your arsenal will quickly expand with revolvers, a Tommy gun, shotgun, axe, and various explosives, plus a battery-using flashlight, flares, maps, and stockable health pickups called Zombium, rounding out your items. But the greatest weapon Torque can wield is his insanity. When your insanity meter is full from killing creatures, you can transform into a raging beast capable of ripping creatures apart. But this comes at a price. Although you become stronger with each kill, if you don't transform back into your human form before the meter runs out, it's game over. But there's more than your health at risk. The Suffering employs a morality system, where your choices determine if Torque truly killed his family or is innocent. For example, if you come across someone in trouble, you'll start to hear voices of Torque's wife and the evil telling you to either save or kill them. Doing either will raise or lower your morale, affecting your ending. Also, if you're striving to be a model citizen, don't go too crazy with the transformations.
Punch a hole in your sorry ass. Got it?
Calm down, Fuck you. Don't let your
When I've seen these bastards spawn, I prefer to stay in the dark. Go get a flashlight from the break room down the hall. And no funny stuff, or I will blow your head off. Comprende?
I really only have a few gripes with The Suffering, and even then they're not game-breaking. First, the checkpoints are far and few between, so if you die before you hit the next one, prepare to do the same parts over again. Also, when you jump, you can only really jump forward. Trying to jump left or right performs a roll, which might make some platforming a pain in the ass. But again, nothing major.
Sweet! This is it! We're set now. It's like a vault in here. Nothing can get in.
Nothing.
You say something?
Yes.
What was that? I think the dope's coming back.
Breathe deep.
That smell! What in the fuck's going on?
As I kinda jumped the gun earlier on, the presentation in The Suffering is fantastic. The island is creepy, full of disturbing environments, from the prison cells to the infirmary, hell, even outside of the prison. Plus, it makes great use of the draw distance fog. As far as the humans go, they look alright, considering they end up being meat chunks on the floor. The creatures, though, are some of the most creative I've seen in a game, next to the Silent Hill series. Designed by Stan Winston Studios, these monsters are designed to resemble different types of executions like lethal injections, firing squads, and exploding rats? On the audio side, the music is only really played during intense moments, and it's the right mix of foreboding and hard rock. With voiceover, it's pretty good as well, with the Doctor and Gas Demon being my personal favorites.
How long I have been waiting to encounter such a fascinating specimen. My understanding is you've had periodic blackouts since... when was it? Ah, yes. Early adolescence. Ever wonder what happens during those blackouts? Would you say you have visions of bloodshed? Yes, surely there is bloodshed.
So after all this time, is the suffering worth doing just that? Without a doubt, yes. With a dark storyline, familiar yet fun gameplay, and creatures that fit right at home in a Clive Barker coloring book, the Suffering is an underrated horror gem that ranks right up there with the horror games we all know and love. So of course, selling well enough, the Suffering got a part 2, which I never really got to play. Until now, that is. So come back for the finale of Fatal Suffering when we see if the ties truly bind.